They'll never tell you this, but sometimes the most powerful thing a man can do is not fight, not argue, not beg, not prove himself to anyone. Sometimes the greatest strength is in the silence of turning around, walking away, and never looking back. Because there comes a moment in every man's life when staying costs more than leaving, when holding on is nothing but slow poison, and when walking away becomes the beginning of a new life. Think about it. How many men die inside because they keep holding on to people who secretly hate them? How many men rot in the same places that keep them weak, only because they're too afraid to be alone? How many waste their best years chained to habits that destroy them quietly, night after night, until one day they wake up and realize life has passed them by? Walking away is not weakness. It is not surrender. It is not running. Walking away is power. Walking away is the art of choosing yourself when the world is determined to destroy you. Walking away is a man's silent war against everything that was designed to break him. The truth is, life doesn't destroy most men all at once. No, it destroys them in pieces. Slowly, quietly. It strips away their confidence first, then their discipline, then their energy, then their fire. And before they even realize it, they've become hollow shells of who they once dreamed of being. But here's the part they don't want you to know. All of that can end the moment you decide to walk away. From the people, from the addictions, from the comfort zones, from the lies you tell yourself, from the chains you've been dragging for years. Let me tell you something. Silence is dangerous. A man who walks away silently, who doesn't scream, who doesn't make a scene, who doesn't explain himself, that man is the most dangerous man alive. Because his silence means he's done. Done with wasting time. Done with wasting energy. Done with fighting battles that aren't worth fighting. His silence means he's moving in a new direction, towards something higher, sharper, stronger. But here's the hard truth. Walking away is not easy. You will feel fear. You will feel pain. You will feel doubt. Because everything that destroys you, everything that holds you down, has one thing in common. It wants you to believe you can't live without it. That you'll collapse without those people, without those habits, without that fake comfort. But they're wrong. And the moment you step into that silence, the moment you finally leave behind what has been killing you, is the moment you realize you were never weak. You were just chained. Now let me speak directly to you, man to man. Look around your life. Who do you keep around you that secretly drains you? Who do you text? Who do you chase? Who do you tolerate, knowing deep down they don't respect you? That's destroying you. And you know it. Yet you stay, because you're afraid of loneliness. But let me tell you this, loneliness is not the enemy. Fake people are. Walking alone will never destroy you. But walking with those who don't believe in you will bury you. Think of the habits you've carried for years. The late nights, the addictions, the escapes you run to when you can't face yourself. You already know they're destroying you. You already know they're killing your potential. And yet you return to them, again and again, because they're familiar. Because they're easy. Because they're comfortable. But listen carefully. Comfort is the cage that keeps lions acting like sheep. Comfort is the quiet destruction of men who were born to be warriors. And one day, if you don't walk away from those habits, they'll take everything from you. Your focus, your body, your future. And then there are the comfort zones. The places, the environments, the routines you've built that keep you small. They whisper to you, stay here. Don't risk. Don't grow. Don't step out. They feel safe. They feel familiar. But here's the secret: safety is a lie. Safety is the illusion that life owes you something. Safety is how men slowly die while thinking they're still alive. That's why the most successful men you've ever seen, they all have one thing in common. They walked away from comfort. They walked away from easy. They walked away from everything that was destroying them in silence. Now, let me paint you a picture. Imagine a man standing in front of a burning house. Inside that house are all the things he once loved. His friends, his memories, his comforts, his addictions. But the fire is spreading. The smoke is choking him. The walls are collapsing. He knows if he stays, he'll die. Yet something in him still whispers, maybe I can save it. Maybe I can stay a little longer. But the truth is, he can't. And the only way he survives is by walking away and never turning back. That's life. Your old ways are burning. Your toxic relationships are burning. Your bad habits are burning. Your comfort zones are burning. And if you don't walk away now, they will bury you in the ashes. But if you walk away in silence, without explanation, without apology, something changes. At first, it will hurt. It will feel like ripping your own skin off. It will feel empty, cold, and lonely. But soon, very soon, the silence will transform into strength. And one day, you'll look back at the things you left behind and wonder why you ever gave them the power to control you. Walking away doesn't just free you from destruction. It gives birth to a new version of you. A man sharper, stronger, cleaner, more disciplined, more dangerous. Because he no longer needs anyone's validation. Because he no longer fears being alone. Because he has tasted the power of silence. So if you're listening to me right now, hear me clearly. This is your wake-up call. Whatever is destroying you, whatever is draining you, whatever is keeping you weak, you already know what it is. You've always known. Now it's time. Time to rise. Time to turn your back on it. Time to walk away from everything that destroys you. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Not when it feels safe. Now. Because every second you stay is another piece of you that dies. And every step you take away from destruction is another piece of you that comes alive. That is the silent power of walking away. There comes a moment in life when silence speaks louder than screams, when stillness carries more power than chaos, and when walking away is not weakness. It is the declaration of your strength. That moment arrives when you finally realize you cannot save what was never meant to be saved. You cannot carry on your back the weight of people, habits, and environments that are slowly burying you alive. You cannot continue to set yourself on fire to keep others warm, hoping that somehow, through your own destruction, someone else will finally change. The tragedy is this: most people never learn this truth. They spend their entire lives chained to what is killing them. Relationships that bleed them dry, addictions that rob them of dignity, jobs that crush their spirit, environments that suffocate their dreams. And then, at the end, they wonder why they feel hollow, why their soul feels unlived, why regret screams louder than any other voice in their final days. But you have a choice. The silent power of walking away is not about abandoning life, it's about reclaiming it. It is about finally understanding that sometimes the most courageous thing you can do is turn your back. Not in hatred, not in bitterness, but in unshakable clarity. Do you know why walking away is so difficult? Because destruction often disguises itself as comfort. The habits you've had for years feel safe, even when they're killing you. The people who drain you of your energy are familiar, even when they're breaking you. The routine you hate feels secure, even when it's crushing your potential. The familiar will seduce you into staying. It will whisper, "This is who you are. This is where you belong. Don't leave, because without this, you are nothing." But hear me now, that is a lie. You are not defined by what you walk away from. You are defined by what you walk toward. Every man or woman who ever became great understood this secret. The ones who rise above mediocrity are not always the most talented, the most educated, or the most privileged. No, the ones who rise are the ones who learned when to walk away. They knew when to burn the bridge, when to close the door, when to stop returning to the same battlefield that left them wounded time after time. They knew that silence was sometimes the loudest answer. and distance was sometimes the strongest weapon. Think about it: every time you choose to stay where you don't belong, you are silently telling yourself, "I am not worthy of more." And every time you summon the courage to walk away, you are declaring to your soul, "I deserve better. I am better, and I will not waste this one life being less than what I could be." A walking away is not just a physical act. It is an internal revolution. It is a tearing down of old beliefs, of toxic loyalties, of self-destructive patterns. It is the refusal to keep handing your power to what has proven unworthy of it. Yes, it hurts. Walking away will always hurt, because destruction is rarely obvious at first. You will doubt yourself. You will question if you've made the right choice. You will feel the weight of silence when the noise is gone. You will look around and feel alone. But do not mistake loneliness for weakness. Loneliness is not the absence of strength. It is the preparation for it. It is in solitude that you finally meet yourself without distortion, without distraction, without the false mirrors of people who never truly saw you. And it is in that silence that you begin to heal. When you walk away from everything that destroys you, you are not just leaving behind pain. You are creating space for growth. You are opening doors to relationships that build you instead of breaking you, habits that strengthen you instead of weakening you, environments that awaken you instead of numbing you. Think of it like this: a garden cannot flourish if the soil is filled with weeds. No matter how much you water it, no matter how much sun it receives, the weeds will choke the life out of it. And so, too, will your life remain barren as long as you allow destructive forces to occupy your soil. Walking away is the act of uprooting the weeds. It is messy, it is painful, but it is necessary if you ever want to bloom. And here's the most powerful truth: when you walk away, the world will not applaud you. In fact, most of the time, it will criticize you. People will say, "You've changed." They will say, "How could you leave that? How could you let go of something so familiar?" They will not understand, because they are still trapped, and their chains will rattle loudly when they see you free. But remember this: the noise of their chains does not determine the truth of your freedom. Greatness is born in the silent steps you take away from destruction. Greatness is forged when you choose solitude over fake companionship, discipline over fleeting pleasure, courage over comfort. Walking away is not an escape, it is an ascension. It is the path of those who refuse to kneel before mediocrity, those who refuse to surrender their destiny to destruction. And one day, you will look back and thank yourself. You will realize that the silence you once feared was the very space in which your strength was born. You will realize that the loneliness you once dreaded was the very ground upon which you built your empire. Because every man or woman who has ever reached their highest potential has had to face this moment, the moment where they said, "Enough. I will not stay where I am being destroyed." This is your moment. You are standing on the edge of two lives, the one you are used to and the one you are destined for. The only thing standing between them is your willingness to walk away. So walk in silence, walk in strength, walk in faith, and let the world watch as you rise. And then comes the moment when silence no longer feels like emptiness, but feels like rebirth. The moment when you realize that walking away was never about loss. It was about becoming. It was about finding yourself buried under years of noise, of lies, of destruction, and finally unearthing the truth of who you are. When you walked away, it hurt. God, it hurt more than anything. You thought you were leaving behind your world, but in reality, you were stepping into the beginning of a new one. And isn't that the paradox of life? That to find everything, you must be willing to lose what you thought was everything. The silent power of walking away isn't about proving them wrong. It isn't about revenge. It isn't about making a statement to the world. It is about reclaiming your own soul from the hands of destruction. It is about finally saying no more. I will not allow this to kill me. And in that moment, something changes inside you. The weakness that once made you cling becomes strength. The fear that once chained you becomes courage. The silence that once scared you becomes peace. You begin to walk forward, step by step, no matter how heavy. And with each step, you shed another weight. The weight of toxic people, the weight of doubt, the weight of fear, the weight of compromise. And the lighter you become, the more unstoppable you grow. Understand this: walking away is not quitting. Walking away is refusing to participate in your own destruction. Walking away is the highest act of self-respect a human being can show. Walking away is the declaration: I am worth more than this, I deserve more than this, and I will build more than this. And one day, you look back, not with anger, not with regret, but with power. Because the things that once tried to break you, they now look so small compared to the strength you carry inside. And you realize they never defined you. They were only detours. You were always destined to walk beyond them. And here's the truth that most people never understand until it's too late: the greatest victories in life don't come from holding on. They come from having the courage to let go. The man who refuses to walk away stays chained. The man who dares to walk away discovers his wings. And I want you to imagine this for a moment. The day you walk away from everything that destroys you, that is the day the universe itself begins to rearrange in your favor. Doors open where walls once stood. Strength rises where weakness once ruled. Hope floods where despair once lived. You become unstoppable, not because the world is suddenly easier, but because you are no longer your own enemy. You chose life over destruction. You chose growth over decay. You chose yourself. And that choice, that silent, courageous choice, will echo through the rest of your life. So let this speech not just be words you listen to for a few minutes and forget. Let it be the turning point of your existence. Let this be the night you decide: I will not die where I am. I will not settle in my destruction. I will not allow my soul to be buried alive. From this day forward, you walk. You walk away from the lies. You walk away from the pain that only drains you. You walk away from the chains disguised as comfort. You walk away from everything that poisons your soul. And as you walk away, you walk into the man you were always meant to be, because life is waiting for you. Strength is waiting for you. Peace is waiting for you. And freedom, that beautiful, unshakable freedom, is waiting for you. So rise, stand tall, step forward. Walk away from everything that destroys you, and walk into the destiny that has been calling your name since the beginning of time. This is not the end. This is not the collapse. This is your rebirth.